What's up? It's your brother. And hopefully your friend, Big Hill. Rockway's in the building. Black African power. Each one, teach one. Okay, well, what this video, I'm gonna make this video right here on there's some current events. You know, some things I want to talk about was what I've sat back and watched on the news this weekend, what's been going on here for a minute on one. This white on white civil disobedience. You know what I'm saying? This civil disobedience we seen in Virginia. You know, and I'm scrolling my timeline, and there was one brother who got his head cracked. So whenever I see that, you know, I always comment, man, you know, like he had no business there. You know what I'm saying? That was white on white civil disobedience. The same kind of disobedience we saw when they elected Trump, where white folk got bad and they clashed with the other white folk who voted for Hillary. You know, and the only blacks that really get involved are the ones that, you know, I understand though. I understand the psyche of these type of African Americans. They want to see unity amongst the people. They want to stand up and fight against racism and hatred. I understand that. But I'm an old school. And most of these young cats that seeing this type of racism, they don't understand, man, that this racism is like a chameleon. You know, it has the ability to adapt and change with this environment, but it's always been here. It's the same animal. But what we seeing now, you know, that's the same kind of racism and hatred that we saw back in the civil rights area and before. But a lot of people didn't like the fact that I made that statement about the brother. I said he don't have no business there. This is white on white civil disobedience. Why are you even there? You know, those alt-right white nationalists weren't there attacking black people. They were actually mad because the state of Virginia took down their civil rights heroes. They took down, and it's going on all across the country. First it was the Confederate flag. Then they went to, I think it was South Carolina was the Confederate flag. Then they went to New Orleans. I think recently they took down some statues in New Orleans. And so these alt-right, these white nationalists didn't like it. So they went to protest. And the protest and the anger really, even though we know they don't like black people, for this instance, it really wasn't directed at black people. It was directed at the state of Virginia and the powers that be that took down their Civil War heroes. So any black that was there in that melee, you get what's coming. So I'm like, this is the way I am. I'm like, I don't care about white folk getting mad at white folk and fighting other white folk. They've been doing that shit since they was warring with each other in the hills, in the mountains and hillsides of Virginia. If you look at the history of the European ain't never been able to live harmoniously with anybody. You know what I'm saying? It has led me to believe that that's just the nature of the European. Violent, warlike, always want to fight, and you know, it's just their nature. Just study their history. You know, before they came out the mountain cave sides of Eastern Europe and Northeastern Europe and all up in there, or let's say just the, you know, in Europe, they were up there fighting with each other, the Celts, the Vikings, and all these. You know what I'm saying? Then they started coming out from up there and finding indigenous people in the earth, rape, ravaging and pillaging them. So what they're doing today, they've always done. So I'm like, look, man, the only way you gonna see me fighting against some racist crackers or some racist white folk if they show up to where I live, because I live in the black community. So if you show up where I live, spewing your hatred, talking that nigga shit, you know, yeah. Like I put on one of the posts, aim, shoot, repeat. Because you come to where I live at. And if you come to where I live at with this racial hatred and this animus toward my kind, then yeah, I'm gonna have to take up arms and go to war with you. But unless it happened like that, man, I don't give a shit about white folk fighting white folk. Because I ain't getting ready to run up in that mix and end up like that brother, get my head cracked about some shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know, and a lot of people might not understand my logic or agree with it. that's okay. I mean, you don't have to. You know, that's what makes me an individual. I think for myself and I have my own logic, as you do. And mine usually is different than the status quo logic. I just don't think go along with the status quo. And the other thing was North Korea and the propaganda. You know, I'm looking at this propaganda. Every time I see propaganda toward North Korea, I just have one question. Like when it first started, which kind of helps me to understand why Trump was selected, why they put him there. I think that they're gonna use him to go at North Korea because North Korea don't have that Rothschild central bank. So all the propaganda, you know, is the same thing they done with Libya, the same thing they done with Iraq, the same thing. They put that propaganda machine on them and they vilify them in the media. And once they're vilified in the media, once they go in and start killing them, it'll seem justified in the eyes of the American people, in the world. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know about the world, but the news media in America is for us. So, and my question is, why would North Korea want to go to war with a superpower like America? Kim Jong-il is not stupid. And matter of fact, North Korea is an island in the Pacific that's cut in half, so you got South Korea. If you wanted to really go to war, just go over there, right there on your island. America has interest there. You can start bombing. If you just wanted to go to war, you can start right there. Because you know, man, if you do anything, any act of aggression against America gonna result in your whole country getting wiped out. You seen how they wiped out Iraq. You seen how they wiped out Afghanistan. Iraq and Afghanistan are countries. These are not like towns and cities. These are countries about as big as North Korea or maybe bigger. So the propaganda, you know, when I think of that, I'm like, okay, so this is the propaganda machine. Because North Korea is not getting ready to, man, make no act of aggression against the United States. That's just stupid. That's suicidal. You know what I'm saying? That's like a damn poodle dog running up and biting a lion and shit. You just done signed your own death warrant. Get ready to get your ass tore up. So when I see the propaganda, man, I just recognize it for what it is. It's a propaganda campaign against North Korea and setting the stage to go over there and kill up a lot of people, kill all them damn North Koreans and shit, just so the Rothschild central bank can end up in there. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna go up in there, tear up the country, put the bank in, start making loans to these damn developers to redo the country. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go declare war. They're gonna drop bombs on North Korea. They're gonna try to save South Korea because they already, you know, control South Korea. So they're gonna go in, bomb North Korea, kill a lot of people. A lot of them Koreans gonna come over here as a humanitarian act. Then they're gonna institute that Rothschild's bank. Then they're gonna start making loans to these corporate interests gonna end over there. Whatever natural resource they got in the land, they're gonna start going after that. You know, the script has been played over and over again if you look at history. It's the same script. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different time in a different country. So, you know, my thing is, man, people wake up, man. You know what I'm saying? Stay out of white folk affairs. And the white folk want to go to war with each other, let them go to war with each other. When they end up in our communities, then that's when we go to war with them. If you end up in their damn affairs, out there ripping and running and fighting with them, then you deserve to get your head cracked. Because that ain't your business. You know what I'm saying? Let them fight each other. You come back in your community, do what you can to revive and revitalize your own community. And then we build up our communities. If they show up there, then we go to war. But other than that, let that shit go. That's all I wanted to say, man. Peace, I'm out.